everyone. How are you all? Hope you're all fine, doing good during this pandemic, and hope you're all fit and fine. We shall start this day by a great philosopher, a great mystic, Swami Vivekananda's quote: all power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Everything is possible. If you have a will, there is a way. Today, we are going to learn inside the class how to do invoice and cost price problems in consignment. I hope you have all watched the previous sessions. I will provide the previous sessions link in the description box. Please go through it and follow the lessons. It will be the continuation part of the previous sessions, and please do watch the playlist. I will be providing the link in the description box. So he is Chutku. He will always be searching what would be inside the class. He is very curious to know. He is very, very, very playful, and he wants to know what is inside the class. And he is thinking what will be the thing inside this class. Welcome, Chutku. We'll move inside the session now. I take this pleasure to introduce myself. This is Yashoda Srinivas, who is doing this course for you, Advanced Financial Accounting. We are doing this chapter that is Advanced, that is Accounting for Consignment. In this chapter, we have studied already who is a consigner, who is a consignee, what do you mean by consignment, what is the difference between consignment and sale, what is the consignment cycle which is followed, what is the procedure which is involved in that, and what are all the accounts which is prepared in the books of the consigner as well as the consignee, what are all different types of commissions, overriding commission, Delcredere commission, ordinary commission, everything we have studied. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please hurry up and subscribe to the channel right now and hit the bell icon so that you'll be getting regular notifications of the class whenever the video is uploaded. Like the session and share. Do share the session with all the students whom you know, whom you feel that it would be helpful. Let us move on to the session. So today we are going to study about the cost price as well as the loading price. Okay, today we are going to study something regarding the cost price. What do you mean by loading, as well as what do you mean by the invoice price? Okay, first understand this. Cost price is nothing but a price which is involving all the costs. It can be the production, it can be the marketing, advertising, all the promotional activities. That is cost of goods sold. Everything is involved in the cost price. Plus loading. What do you mean by loading? Consigner, keep this in mind. Always the consigner, what he does, he will inflate the price, that is cost price, and he will send the inflated cost price by adding the loading and make it a invoice price and send it to the consignee. Okay, so this is the procedure what the consigner do. Okay, so what do you mean by this is that cost price will be inflated, and that inflation would be called as loading, and it would be made a invoice price. Okay, so this condition, why does the consigner do this loading? Why does he do? Sometimes he doesn't want the consignee to know what is actually the profit which he is making. Okay, what is actually the profit he is making? It is kept skeptical. Okay, he doesn't want the consignee to know how much would be the profit. Okay, so hence what he does, he will inflate the price. It is insider thing. Okay, insider thing which is known by the consigner. Okay, and he will be inflating the price. If 100 rupees is the cost price, he can inflate 25 rupees and he can send that invoice price, that is 125. Okay, he can send at 125, but it is left to the consigner. Okay, why does he do loading? He doesn't want the consignee to know what is the profit which is earned by the consignee. He will tell if 100 rupees plus 25 rupees means it is 125, but he will say 125 is only the cost. Okay, now 125 is only the cost means here 25 rupees whatever the loading which is inflated is not at all known. Why? Because he may ask it may create so much of competition in the market. If some of your competitors know that you are making so much of profit out of the inflation price, then the competitors will be attracted to enter inside the market. Okay, so that is why it is kept hidden. Okay, so but why it is not known to the consignee? Because consignee will ask for more commission. Since he is the one who is making sales, he will ask for more percentage in the commission. So in order to reduce all these consequences, it is kept skeptical, it is kept hidden. Okay, so that type of thing which is added more than the cost is nothing but loading. Okay, it is left to the consignee and it is left to the consigner. On the advice of the consigner, consignee will perform. It is left to the consigner to sell the goods at invoice price, or on invoice price they can add some percentage again and make it a selling price. He can either sell it at invoice price only, or he can add still more percentage of profit and sell it at sale price. Okay, and he can still more add the percentage, okay, of profit, and he can sell at a sales price. Okay, so that is what is the thing. Whenever you are already 125 is your invoice price, plus 25 if you want again the profit you can add, and you can sell at 150 rupees. So it is left to the consigner part of you. Okay, either he can sell at a invoice price, or he can just sell at a higher price which is above, over and above that. It is nothing but the this is nothing but the selling price. Okay, so the next one is why the invoice price we are going to study. Why we are going to inflate the price like this? Why we are studying cost price, loading price? We have all studied. Why? What is the reason? Also I told you. This is the reason why they want to keep it hidden. Why they want to keep it hidden? Understood? So this is what is the reason. They want to reduce unnecessary market competitions, and they want to make the consignee feel that they're selling at cost price plus some amount of profit. That's all. If they know that this much of profit is made by the consignor, then they will demand for more commission. Hence, to make it to avoid those situations, they are doing like this. Okay, so this invoice price or loading price is unrealized profit, we say. Okay, na? So it is unrealized profit. Understand this. Unrealized profit. What do you mean by unrealized profit? Means it is not realized. Once the consigner sends it to consignee, that time only he will not realize this amount or in invoice price he will not realize. That profit is not at all going to come for consigner. It is unrealized profit. Once these goods are sold to the final consumer, that is the consumer. Okay, consumer is going to pay all these things, then only it will be realized. Okay, until that it would be on the part of the unrealized profit, which is not at all realized. Once the final sale is made to the consumer, then only this money along with the invoice price will be given to the consignor, then only it will be realized. Okay, so that is what is the thing. Understood? So understand this. Invoice can only be a sale price, or percentage can be added to arrive at a sale price. Okay, invoice can only be the sale price. I told you, no, 100 rupees plus 25 rupees, that only can be a sale price. Invoice price can only be a sale price, or upon the invoice price also again they can add some amount and sell it at a added price. Okay, na? You can add some more profit and you can add it at that price, that would be the sale price. These two options are there for the consignor. Invoice price can only be the sale price, or they can add some more amount and sell it at a very high price than invoice price. Okay, so that is what being said. Next. Okay, now we are moving on to the session round. Okay, see the first question. See the first question. The goods sent on consignment, the goods sent on consignment is 3 lakhs. Okay, the goods sent on consignment is 3 lakhs. The goods is invoiced. The goods is invoiced at cost plus 25. The goods is invoiced at cost plus 25. Okay, so what you have to do here, 25%, that means it is invoiced. It is an invoice price. Okay, so if he has given you invoice price means what you have to do, we have to see how to do the problem. Okay, so goods are invoiced at cost plus 25%. Okay, then it is an invoice price. Okay, then it is 3 lakh rupees. Okay, so first you have to put the formula. This is the formula. Cost price plus loading is equal to invoice price. Cost price plus loading is equal to invoice price. Okay, always assume whenever he say cost plus 25, okay, whatever has been said, cost plus 25 means assume that cost as 100. Okay, cost as 100, so upon that loading is 25, then you will be getting as invoice price, that is 125. Always keep this in mind. Whenever he says cost plus 25, assume that cost would be 100 anta. Assume that upon that loading will be 25 and total price 100 plus 25 is equal to 125. Okay, if the assignment, the goods which is consigned to the consignee is 3 lakhs, that is 125's value is 3 lakhs. 125's value is 3 lakhs means what you will do with 25, what is the percentage of this one? 100 we have to find out. So first we will find out what is the cost upon this invoice price 125. He has given this information. So if for 100, 125 is the invoice price, the invoice price of the consignment which is sent is 3 lakhs. What would be the cost price? What would be the cost price value of the goods? Okay, if 100 is assumed to be the cost, then invoice price is 120. If the invoice value of the consignment is 3 lakh, what is the cost value of the consignment? We have to cross multiply. So 3 lakh into 100 divided by 125, it is 2,40,000. Loading is nothing but you can just use this equation to find anything. It can be cost, it can be loading, it can be invoice. Everything one formula only. Whenever you want loading, you shift cost to that side. So plus becomes minus cost. Okay na? So loading is equal to invoice price minus cost price. That is 3 lakh minus whatever we have found, 2,40,000. It would be 60,000. So this is what is the answer for whatever they have asked. This is the cost value of the consignment. Then this is the loading or the loading percentage which they have said regarding 25. Whatever the percentage they have added, no, that percentage will amount to 60,000. Okay, fine. For the next sum, moving to the next sum. Okay, so this is what is the problem. Next problem, the cost of computers is 20,000. Okay, the goods are invoiced at 10% above the cost. Be very careful what he is saying. Be very careful with the wordings. Goods are invoiced at 10% above the cost. Okay, so then what would be the invoice price? What would be the loading? We have to find out. Apply the same formula. Cost price plus loading is equal to invoice price. assume if he is telling cost above 10% above cost, means you have to assume cost as 100, then the loading upon that would be 10. So the total invoice price or the percentage would be 110. So if the value of the goods, that is cost value, that is the cost value of the consignment is 20,000, means you write it 20,000. So 10, we don't know how much is the loading value, then we don't know IP also, that is invoice price also we have to calculate. Cross multiply this. If 100 is the cost price and 110 is the invoice price, for cost price of 100, invoice price is 110. So for the cost value of the consignment 20,000, what would be the invoice value of the consignment? Cross multiplication, 20,000 into 110 divided by 100. So you will be cancelling all the zeros. You'll be getting 22,000. So loading formula means loading is equal to you can just substitute this only. Loading is equal to IP minus cost price. Okay, so that is what IP minus cost price. 22 was the IP. Okay, so 22 was the IP which you have found here. So here 22,000 minus 20,000. 20,000 is what you have already given cost price. Okay, if you deduct that, you will be getting 20,000. That is the loading which is involved in this. Okay. We'll move on to the next problem. So in this problem, they have said in the same way how to calculate this. This is also another problem. This one we have already discussed. Okay, the goods invoiced at 20% above IP. Now he is telling above IP. Okay, it is over and above the invoice price. It is invoiced at above IP. Cost of goods is 1,20,000. Okay, so be very careful with this. When you are told above IP or invoice price, you have to do very carefully. Assume IP as 100 now. Okay, whenever he is telling above IP, assume IP as 100. Okay, invoice price as 100. So see, the same formula is used. Cost plus loading is equal to invoice. But assume the invoice price as 100. We don't know how much. He is telling above the IP is 20%. We don't know how much is IP. So assume that IP is 100. Okay, if he is telling loading is 20, okay, loading is 20. Okay, so then what will happen? The cost will be, you have to deduct. So 100 already, 20 is loaded, he is saying. Then what would be the cost price? It would be less. Okay, so it would be 80. 80 rupees. Okay, so next he has told the value, the cost of goods value is nothing but 1,20,000, he has said. So we don't know how much is the loading value. We don't know the invoice value also. We need to find out. So cross multiply this one also. So for 80 cost, this much is the invoice price. So the cost value of the consignment is 1,20,000. Then what would be the invoice value? Okay, so we have to find. So 1,20,000 into 100 divided by 80, it is nothing but 1,50,000. In the same way, we have to find out the loading also. So loading is equal to invoice minus cost. You know already the invoice is 1,50,000. Then you have to find what? Have to find cost. Cost is also known. It is provided in the problem only 1,20,000. Then loading, whatever they have added, no, this 20's value is 30,000. This 20's value is 30,000. Okay, so this is what is the problem. These problems are very, very important from your exam point of view. They will ask for 2 marks in the question paper. Okay, be very careful. Okay, this is a 2018 question paper. They have asked this question. Goods are invoiced at profit. Okay, profit of 20% on sales. On sales he has asked. Okay, 20% on sales. The cost price of the goods, okay, cost price of the goods sent is of 1,48,800. Then calculate the load and invoice price of the goods. Okay, so he's telling what should be the cost price or invoice price of the goods. Okay, you have to see how to calculate that. Let us move on to solve this problem. The cost price of this, one second, the cost price of this is, we will always solve, no, like that only we need to put the formula. The cost price of this would also be cost price plus loading is equal to invoice price. Okay, so cost price plus loading is equal to invoice price. If he is saying upon sales, that is upon sales it is 100, or upon invoice price it is 100, so he is telling loading is 20, so you have to deduct it on cost. Okay, so you have to deduct it on cost. It would be 80 rupees. Okay, it would be 80. If it is 100 on invoice minus 20, then it would be 80 on cost. So if they have said the cost price of the, or cost value of the consignment is 1,48,800, then what is the loading? What is the invoice price he is asking? So for 80 rupees cost, invoice is 100. For 1,48,800, what is the invoice value? Cross multiply this 1,48,800 into 100 divided by 80, then you will be getting invoice price as 1,86,000. Okay, so if you want to calculate the loading, then shift this cost price to the right hand side. It will be minus invoice price minus cost price. It is 1,86,000 minus 1,48,800. It is 37,200. So this is the final answer which you get. I hope this session was very informative and educative. Please go and subscribe to the channel. This is our channel. Please do subscribe and press the bell icon so that you'll be getting a regular notification whenever the classes are held. Then you will be sharing the class with whoever is in need of the class. Please do share the class with your friends, whoever is in need of the class. Okay, so please like it and give a very big encouragement to continue the classes. This is the end of the session, so please do take care of yourself. You are the asset to our country, so please be very careful and take care of yourselves. That's all for the day. We'll be meeting soon. Signing off. Take care. God bless you all.